Hello.
Enjoying the blank. We're lighting the candles.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's all I've done. Share mitzvah tov. Share Shabbat. No.
The Hadlik Nair. So
The
I
Hadlik
can show you the. It's on.
I've sung it.
Yeah, it's all good.
I've sung it a million times, but doing it from memory.
Yeah, it's on page 120
120.
in Mishkan Tefillah. 120.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
right back.
All good.
Back there, I got this. You should,
Okay.
you can start.
Maya Fehayo Shabbat Shalom Maya Fehayo Shabbat Shalom Maya Fehayo Shabbat Shalom Maya Fehayo Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Maya Fehayo Shabbat Shalom Maya Fehayo Shabbat Shalom.
Great way to start our Shabbat together. So happy to see everyone here. There's something really special happening. Like, rarely does a person come up to me and say, hey, Rabbi, would it be okay if I gave a Devar Torah at services? It happens very rarely, if never. Now, when it's a teenager who is from the youth group who makes that request, it's impossible for me to turn down, and it makes it particularly special. So you're in for a treat tonight in that regard. Of course, it's special to have Cantor Snyder here with us, as always. Just great to see everyone here, you know. And so let's do Shabbat together. I think we have people to light the Shabbat candles for us. Is that correct? Karen and Paul? So come, join us here on the bima to light the Shabbat candles. If you want, I'll give you even you brought a book, you can even do an English reading. Good. So, here. Good matches. Come in a little closer, you're on the camera. Good. Now, do you want to read something in English too, or just the Hebrew?
I'll read the Hebrew.
All right, fine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu b'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Include the first line of the Kiddush too? And then I'll sing the rest of it if you do the Baruch.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Borei Peri. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techilah lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon ilchatanu, Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh HaShabbat.
You can take a sip if you want to. Yeah, you can. It's like a 2030 vintage. It will not be ready for at least 5 or 6, 7 or 8 years. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. All right, Lechuna Ranana, page 130.
Lechu neranana ladonai nariha litzur ishenu. Lechu neranana ladonai nariha litzur ishenu. Nikad mafana v'todah Bismirot nariyalo, nekad mafana titoda, bismirot nariyalo. Kiel gadol ladonai nariyaletu ishenu, nekad mafana titoda, bismirot nariyalo. Lechu neranena ladonai nariya litzur ishenu, nekad mavanav v'toda b'zmirot nariya lo, nekad mavanav v'toda b'zmirot nariya lo.
And we may continue down our as we serenade down Kabbalat Shabbat Lane with Lecha Dodi, page 138. We're going to do the first, second, fifth, and ninth verse. And when we reach the ninth verse, I'll invite you to rise and face the entrance of the sanctuary to greet the Sabbath bride. Lecha Dodi, page 138.
Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Yishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem ultiferet v'litila, Lecha והנה שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לבנך, יהי בכל הברכה מראש מקדם נשופה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך אדוני, לקראת קלה והנה שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, אורי אורי, שיר נבלי כבוד אדוני, עלייך נגלה לך אדוני, לקראת קלה והנה שבת נקבלה.
This is the ninth verse. Would everyone rise and face the entrance?
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לקראת קלה והנה שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני, לקראת קלה והנה שבת
Remain standing, please. We turn to 146, which is the call to worship, the Baruch Hu, 146.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Please be seated now. We're on page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uben laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Amarim Aravim. prayer talking about God's love for the world is Ahavat Olam, page 150.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Habta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu v'shokvenu u'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam ha'ed ki hem chayenu be'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasvir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael.
152, the Shema, please rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. 154.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha v'kumecha וקשרתם לראות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Our song of liberation, freedom from Egyptian bondage, that's called Micha Mocha 158.
Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, netar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, oseh מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע לפני משה ומרים זלי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי יפתה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
On 160 is our evening prayer, which is kind of like the equivalent of a bedtime prayer that one might say, like, say your prayers before you go to sleep. This is kind of what this is. It says, oh God, please let me go to sleep confidently and calmly, and let me rise up tomorrow morning rejuvenated and renewed. Hashkivenu, again, 160.
Adonai Eloheinu leshalom me'amidenu shomerenu lechaim ufros aleinu Sukkot shalom lecha, mitaknenu be'etza tova, milfanecha, ve'hoshienu leman shemecha. צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום, מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Baruch ata Adonai, ha'porech sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, me'al Yerushalayim.
All right, we continue now with the tefillah, beginning with Adonai Sifatai Tiftach on page 164, and we invite you to please rise.
Adonai Sifatai Tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha, Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Yadadai-dai-dai, 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 yadadai-dai-dai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanurah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Hozeh U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atarav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Nishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Geburot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahlelucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated. 177. God, you can join me, by the way. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ucha na'eh lehodot. Our evening prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom, Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levaret et amcha Yisrael. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam.
So you can put your prayer books away for a little while, because one of our favorite parts of the service is getting a chance to just share a little bit, the joys, the struggles. Well, the good part is the joys. A little bit later, the struggles. But we like to just become a little bit of a community by sharing joys with each other. And so if you've experienced joy somewhat recently, and you would like to share that joy, all you have to do is raise your hand, and we'll give you a chance to share some joy. Linda, you can go first.
I'm so grateful and full of joy because I have my family here for first time in a year. So happy to see all of them.
The joy of having your family around here with you, Linda, I can imagine. Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear means may it be. Let it be, may it be. Paul.
I have two joys to share, and on the same subject. Aaron and I had all our extended family with us at various times during the entire summer. It was wonderful. It was a total, all of our combined adult children and their children, and total 35 days with us, in and out, in and out. And the second joy is they all come out.
The joy of Paul is mentioning the joy of having family and watching them go. Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Yeah, Candy. Accomplishments. Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Yes, love. That's nice. Oh, awesome. 75 years birthday and having your son come for a week. Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Anybody else want to share a little joy? Eric. Ah. Does it have space for 9 to possibly 11? To eat. Tit Hadshi, that's what you say when you get something new. Tit Hadshi, can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Sharon. Nice. Fantastic. Mazel tov. Another Tit Hadshi, although it sounds to me like it's just starting as opposed to move-in ready. I'm going to maybe we'll hold off on our Kenyihi until after we see some good progress, because we don't want to voodoo it or anything like that. Yeah, I know that feeling. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Any other joy? Merv.
My first joy is for being healthy, speedy recovery, so that's a good one. And then the second one, I had a surprise visit from
How old is this young little granny?
She's 27.
That's not young anymore.
Well, she's young compared, yeah.
Right,
Yes.
compared to us.
Yeah, but we had a blast. We went downtown, we spent 4 hours. I walked 2 miles, 2.6 miles, which is for me, that is excellent. Had ice cream, then,
Which undid all the steps you got.
blood sugar was excellent, and then cheesecake on top of it, and my blood sugar was perfect. So,
And this is having too many good experiences for me to repeat. Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Anybody else want to share joy? All right, Baruch atah Adonai, Gomel Chasadim Tovim. We praise you, Adonai, our God, for partnering with us in the many joys that are in our lives.
Amen.
Along with the joy, of course, is a recognition of the fact that not everyone has that sense of shalom, which we desperately search for, that sense of wholeness and peace. And we know loved ones of ours are struggling right now, and so we have a prayer that we say. It's called Misha Berach, and our tradition is that I'm going to share the beginning of this blessing, and then halfway through, at the part where you might typically put someone's Hebrew name in, you don't have to say Hebrew name. You could say any name you want to, but if you want to say a person's name who is in need of healing, I'll just look around the room, and when my eye meets yours, if you would like to share a name, please do so. And then I'll finish up the blessing, and then we'll sing it. Yeah? Cool. So it goes like this. Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, v'imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. That means may the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. V'yivarech v'yiraped kol hacholim shelanu. May God bless and heal all of our loved ones who are in need of healing, especially the ones whom we name at this time. So if you'd like to share a name of someone in need of healing, just wait for me to meet your eye, and then feel free to say their name. Pinchas Paul. No, you didn't tell us. I know. I know who it is, and
Monica and Jeff.
And I would just like to add a few more names. Eric Harris, Mika Rom, Melech Eliezer Ben Yosef, Beth Smith, Leslie Harris, and Judy Sarubin. Yishlach lehem bimheira refuah shalema. May God send them speedily a complete recovery. Refuat hanefesh v'refuat haguf. Healing of body and a healing of spirit. Toch sha'ar cholei Yisrael, amongst all who are in need of healing. V'nomar amen.
Amen.
Now, if you'd like to follow along with the words to Misha Berach, you can find it on page 371 in your Siddur.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Vekor habrata laavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We pause for a moment of silence.
Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
I mentioned about having a guest speaker here this evening. I should tell you that John Esposito, who is the youth group president, in addition to the fact that no one, and no kids and few adults have ever asked me to give a Devar Torah just because, but also, I don't think I've ever had someone as interested in what it means to be a rabbi or Jewish texts as I've seen in this young man in a long time. During COVID, when I would have classes during COVID, probably weekly, just a different class I would teach, I could always count on seeing John's square on Zoom every single time. I mean, it was, you would have a bunch of people who were celebrating birthdays around Laura's age, and John, who was at the time 14 or 14 years old. So it's like I've always kind of imagined this day coming, and so we want to invite John Esposito to the Bima to share with us a Devar Torah on the Torah portion called Ki Teitzei. John, you come on up.
All right, game time. Although we should always be aware of the impact that our actions have, I think that on this Shabbat we ought to give it special consideration. This week's Torah portion is called Ki Teitzei, and it is, in essence, a long list of commandments. 73, in fact, of the total 613 commandments contained in the Torah are in this portion. Like most laws, all the commandments in this section are aimed at benefiting society in some way. However, I've separated these mitzvot into two groups: those that are intuitive in a moral sense. In other words, it is easy to see how this is the right thing to do, and those that are not intuitive. For example, early in the portion, the rules for prisoners of war are laid out. It says that after a victory, you cannot sell captured women, but instead you must let them go. Ki Teitzei also tells us to not return runaway slaves to their masters. It says to not punish a son for his father's deeds, and vice versa, and also that a father should not have a favorite son. A person's conscience or moral compass will likely compel them to carry out these mitzvot. God also tells us to return lost things when they are found, strictly prohibit prostitution, and treat a dead corpse with respect, even if the person was put to death publicly. Once again, it's easy to see how implementing these rules will lead to a more productive, prosperous, and holy society. Furthermore, a person's conscience would compel them to follow these rules. However, there are many mitzvot that at a first glance seem to have no moral substance behind them. The obligation to wear tzitzit, the fringes that hang from the four corners of a talit, are also found in Kiteze. Although we wear talit weekly here at TBS, it's a bit harder to see how not doing so would be morally wrong or would hurt society on a larger scale. Another verse states that a person must shoo away a mother bird before taking her eggs away to eat. And another says that guardrails must be installed after the construction of a new house. Perhaps it's just me. My conscience would not compel me to do any of those things. Now I wear a talit on Shabbat, and if I were to build a house, I would definitely put a railing on the porch, not because of a little voice deep inside me telling me that these things are wrong. I instead do them because that is tradition. People have done that for millennia, and so it is only natural for me to do the same. And tradition is a powerful thing. Personal space that is created when wearing a talit is comforting. Guardrails prevent all kinds of injuries. Even shooing a mother bird away. While it might seem trivial, it reminds us to treat animals with respect and stray away from cruelty. Small deeds such as these have positive impacts, even if they are harder to notice. Honest efforts towards keeping these traditions alive have benefited the Jewish people throughout the millennia. It is our job to keep many of these traditions alive. Whether the benefit of a given Jewish practice is easy to see or not, it is altogether important that we pass on our way of Jewish life to the next generation. Reading the Torah, going to service, or getting involved in a youth group are all great ways to do so. We want a flourishing congregation like this one to exist in 20 or 30 years. We'll have to do the little things right, and not just the big things. There's a great story in the Talmud, which some of you may have heard, but if not, it bears repeating. It is the story of Honi. One day, Honi was walking along a road when he saw a certain man planting a carob tree. So Honi asked the man, "How many years will it be before this tree bears fruit?" The man responded, "It will not bear fruit for at least 70 years. So Honi said, "Do you really expect to live 70 more years?" The man looked at Honi with a knowing smile and said, "As my ancestors planted for me, so I plant for my children."
We don't applaud in the sanctuary, but we know you're feeling it, so you can tell them afterwards, right? It's because, clearly it's tradition not to applaud because we haven't been applauded up here yet, so
Yeah.
it must be that. Thank you, John. It was really fantastic, and I love your insights, and I especially appreciate kind of the message for the future and the importance of maintaining a Jewish community in the next, in the short term, not just the very long term. So that was fabulous. Anyone else wants to give a Devar Torah one of these days, just ask me, even though I know you're not going to. Page 586, that's Elenu. I'd like to invite everyone to please rise.
Aleinu l'shtapeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשם גילויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, והורתנו ככל עמונה, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
So at this moment of sacred memory, we bring to mind loved ones from our congregation who have been called to their eternal rest. We remember three who have passed away quite recently, and we're in the period of Shloshim, which is the 30 days of intensive mourning. And they are Roger Levy, the father of Erica Lungelhofer, Scott Hess, loved one of Cindy Fox, and Sidney Packer, grandfather of Josh Schechter. And we also remember these loved ones whose yahrzeits occur on this Shabbat. That means it's the anniversary of their passing. Lovingly, we remember Esther Ganel, Yosef Osowicki, along with Lester Salomon, and David Tannenbaum, and Harriet Goldman, and Hyman Kugelman, Toby Trister, Mildred Cranes Falk, Barbara Ginsburg, George Thurston McCutcheon, Lenore Miller, Irving Chiat, Dolores Schwartz, Philip Benjamin Wolkoff, Alvin Wolf, Thelma Estelle Katz, Adolf Kugelmass, Elton Resnick, and Hazel Sakobin. And so in gratitude for their lives and linking their names with the rest of our loved ones who have passed away, we remember them now with the words of our mourner's prayer, which is called the Kaddish. 598, please rise, if it's your custom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechal beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ulamei amaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'lamin kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiram bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to every bereaved heart. Amen. Please be seated. Okay, we are so close to concluding our service. A handful of thank yous. Thank you to Tom DeKornfeld and Charlie Claxton for serving as ushers this evening. Thank you so much. Thank you to Ivan Kaplan, Colleen Sandler, Jerry Grossman, and Jennifer Hansel for sponsoring the Oneg Shabbat this evening. We're so delighted and happy that the Oneg Shabbat has returned after a little summer hiatus. Thank you most specifically to John Esposito for doing such a beautiful job of speaking here at the Bima with an extraordinary Dvar Torah on the Torah portion called Itetse. Thank you. Tomorrow, we are celebrating a bat mitzvah. She's not here. She has a lot of family coming in town, so she wasn't able to be here. But Ashley Sindler is going to be a bat mitzvah tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. You can come in person, or you can watch on stream if you want to. Either way, we'd be happy to have you. The Oneg Shabbat that I mentioned, and I mentioned how it's returned. Yes, indeed, we ask everyone who's a member of the temple to participate in the Oneg Shabbat. You can bring food, or you can make a small donation to the temple to offset it, if you would like. Slichot, which unofficially, or I guess it ushers into the High Holy Day season. That is on September 9th, 6:30 p.m. is when we start by showing a movie, and the movie is called A Man Called Otto. If you haven't seen it, it's fabulous. Don't see it. Wait to see it here. And you can see our new screen with our new projector. It's really cool. So really, it's like being in the theater. While we're speaking about movies, Helen Mirren is starring as Golda Meir in the movie called Golda. And it's now, I think it gained a little popularity because it's now playing in a handful more theaters. But at the time that I made the decision to go as a temple, for anyone who wanted to see it with me, it was playing in just 2 places, one in Columbia, one at Arundel Mills, and I picked the one in Columbia. So on Tuesday, I will be seeing Golda, I think it's at 6:50, at the Cinemark Columbia, if you'd like to join me and then have a little discussion about it afterwards. Bloodmobile, coming to the temple September 10th. Sign up. It's important. It's a mitzvah. Sign up to give blood. Really. No excuses. Don't say, oh, my iron, or I'm not. No excuses. It's a mitzvah.
There are some excuses.
All right. A handful of excuses, but none that are good enough for me, maybe for them. Okay. The Premier Event Expo is the same day as the Bloodmobile. That's September 10th, which is our first day of Hebrew school here. All are welcome. It's always a lot of fun, by the way. Even if you don't have any events coming up that you would want to see the various different vendors, it's a hoot to come. I mean, and they're giving away all this free food and all this great swag and stuff like that. Come by the temple on September 10th for the Premier Expo. It's like fun to go and see the various different, now they show off, their celebratory things. Finally, High Holy Days. See the website, temple website for more information. Also, all tickets are digital. So you probably got an email not from the temple, but it come from I can't remember the name of the website, but it's a slightly unusual website that said, your tickets are here. So that's how the tickets are working. Just bring it out on your phone, or if you have one of those smartphone things, or you can print out a ticket if you want to. Nonetheless, all tickets are like that. Okay, I think I've said enough. Let's conclude with Motzi and then a final song, which is a high, kind of like getting you into the Elul mood, a Chat Sha'alti, and you can find that on page 662 in your Siddur. First Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
662.
Achat sha'alti meit Adonai. Achat sha'alti ota avakesh. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai. Achat sha'alti ota avakesh. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai. Achat sha'alti ota avakesh. Shivti, shivti, bebeit Adonai. Shivti, shivti, kol yemei chayai. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai. Achat sha'alti ota avakesh. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Join us for the Oneg Shabbat. So happy to see you.